for any questions. And a good morning to you on this Friday morning, the Art Lewis Show. And as I mentioned, at 10 o'clock, we'll be chatting with Mike from Westside Decorating. At 11 o'clock, we'll learn about the HBA, the Great Lakes Bay Region's Spring Parade of Homes. But for this hour, they're in their 49th season, and if I count right, 2 concerts left in that season. One of them coming up May 5th. It is the Bay Concert Band, and joining us in studio this morning, the musical director and conductor, and he is Nathan Snyder. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Take the sweater off and leave it here.
Yeah.
He's got on this really neat
I can't believe
native influence sweater.
I can't believe I'm wearing a sweater on May 1st.
Yeah, thank you very much. Me too.
A little ridiculous, I got to tell you.
Welcome to Michigan. They say that the last freeze date for people that grow things is typically around Mother's Day. So.
Yep. Don't plant anything yet.
No, and Michigan's proving it right, so because it's going to actually frost up this weekend. Lovely. 49th season.
It is.
What's the history of the band? Do you know the history, how it got started?
Yeah, actually, what I think a lot of listeners will relate to is someone put an ad in the newspaper and said,
what was that?
They were looking.
What's a newspaper?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, I remember newspapers.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, so they put an ad in the newspaper, and they were looking for musicians to come, and they said, "Come to Bay City Central High School." I think they met for the first time at Central High School. They had a good turnout. They got some music, and they started playing music together, and it's been going ever since. 49 seasons strong, and we actually still have. There's at least 3 members I can think of off the top of my head that still play.
Really?
Now, who were there in that first season.
No kidding.
Yeah, one person that was there from the beginning, and then a couple others that joined throughout that first season that they did.
Wow.
49 years ago. Yeah, it's amazing. It's such a great thing to have community like that, where you can have people who have been around since the beginning talking to people who just graduated from high school and mingling together.
We should point out, unlike the Eddie Band in Saginaw, which has a trust which has funded it forever, you don't have that.
No, we don't. We're completely self-funded through our ticket sales and donations from audience members and band members. That's how we keep things afloat, and thankfully the community has been really, really gracious with us. They have supported us for those 49 years. They come to the concerts, they donate money.
And the musicians are all volunteers.
The musicians are all volunteers, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so next concert is this Tuesday, right?
It's this Tuesday, May 5th at 7:30 at Bay City Central High School.
So what are we going to hear this time?
So what I really like on the first half is we have a couple of kind of local connections. The first piece on the program is actually by a Bay City native. His name is Matthew Baer. He graduated, I believe, from Garber High School, but he lived in Bay City. The piece is called A London Fanfare. When he was in college, his college marching band went and marched in the London New Year's parade.
No kidding.
One year, and he was so captivated by the city that he decided to write a piece of music, and he contacted me a couple of years ago and informed me about his music and said, I'd like you to take a look at it. And I listened to it, and he's got some really great stuff. And this is a nice piece to kick off the program with.
I wonder if it's reflective of what the Royal Marine musicians do in ceremonies, because they're big on fanfares and stuff.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's definitely a march-like piece with it being a fanfare. So yeah, it definitely kind of fits the pageantry of everything going on in that city all the time, with all the bands and all the changing of the guards and everything. And yeah, definitely. And a nice thing is that Matthew and some of his family are going to be at the concert.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'll get to recognize him publicly, have him come up on stage and take a bow, everything after the piece is over. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's a nice connection that we can do.
You kicking off with that?
Yeah, we're kicking off with that.
Makes sense. You kick off with a fanfare.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What else would you do with it?
Exactly. I always like to start our concerts with something upbeat, get the audience, energized and get the band energized and everybody really into the music. So pretty much every concert, even our holiday concert, starts off with some kind of, upbeat fanfare piece to get everybody going, which is nice.
Then what happens?
So after that, we moved to a composer named Dwayne Milburn. He was he's a military veteran, served in I believe the Navy band for many, many years. Wow. He was one of the conductors and arrangers for the Navy bands, and he wrote this piece. It's based on memories from his childhood. It's called American Hymn Song Suite, and he grew up in the church with his family, and he had several hymn tunes that he really liked, so he thought that he would set them for concert band, which he has done. So there are 4 movements. They're not very long. Each one's only probably about 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes in length, but they're nice little vignettes, you could say, into his childhood and the hymn tunes that meant a lot to him.
And probably the nice thing about all of that is they're all in the public domain.
Yes, a lot of them are in the public domain. It does make it easier for composers when stuff is in the public domain, for
much
sure.
Easier, that's for sure.
Yeah. After that, we have another local-ish connection, I guess you could say, which is a piece by Lloyd Connolly. He was born in Rogers City and served in the Army Air Corps, but he had a brother that he wrote. I think it was a brother that he wrote this march in honor of, but it's called the Nautical City March, which is it's kind of the nickname for Rogers City.
I was going to say it is a nautical city.
Yeah, it's the Nautical City. So he wrote this march in honor of, in tribute to his brother, who was the band director in Rogers City. It's cool. It's a cute little march. It's in 6/8, and when you listen to it, in addition to it being a march, it does sound kind of like a sea song. We had the trend a couple of years ago. It started with the Wellerman, the sea song that guy was just singing in a pub, and his video went viral. And this march kind of reminds me of those nautical songs and those nautical sounds, with it being in 6/8, so it kind of bobs and ebbs and flows back and forth, kind of like a ship floating on the water, which I think is cool. But this piece was brought to me by a member of the band. So, she said, hey, I've played this piece before. I think she might have even grown up in Rogers City or around Rogers City. And she said, hey, this is another local connection. Why don't we do something that has a local connection? I said, that's a great idea. And that's one of the things I love about the band members is they come with good ideas. And sometimes it makes my job a little easier. That's one less piece of music I have to go find.
Yeah.
When they come to me and
drops
they say,
it in your lap.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And then we do have one more piece in the first half. It's kind of the big one. It's kind of an oldie but a goodie, you could call it. It's called Variations on a Korean Folk Song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It's been around since the 60s. But it's well known to a lot of band people.
I think my son played that in drum corps.
He probably did.
Cavaliers out of Rosamond, Illinois.
And might have even played it in high school band or college band sometimes. It's a very, very popular piece, but has a really beautiful oboe or clarinet opening, an oboe solo, and a lot of fun percussion stuff that gets featured in it. Yeah. So,
all right, that's the first half. It's this coming Tuesday. We'll talk more with Nathan when we return after our break, and this is the final day, of course, of the Spring Cash Contest. Here's your chance to win. And we're back with you. Nathan Snyder with us in studio from the Bay Concert Band, where this coming Tuesday they have the next to last concert of this 49th season. We'll talk about the 50th later, but we haven't gotten to the second half of this one yet. So Let's put that to bed.
So the second half for this spring concert is special, just like last year's spring concert was. We are featuring our scholarship winners. They are local students who live within the Bay County area. They've applied for scholarships. They can either be in middle school or high school. And these scholarship recipients, part of their kind of award for being winners of the scholarship is they are offered the chance to come and play music with the band. So they will be playing with us. We have 5 students that are playing with us, 2 flutes, a saxophone, a trombone, and a euphonium player. And so I think that's really great. So we're going to be playing some music that is a little more accessible for them in the second half and gives them a chance to play with some quality adult community players and know that there's life beyond school band, that you can continue to play and you can continue to make music, which is really great. So we start with it's called a Micro Symphony by Gerard Hall, but it's a small 4-movement piece called Skyward Spirits, and he's taking the players and the listeners on a journey as if they were a bird flying through the sky, and as they swoop down and in and out and go all around, the freedom that comes with being that big eagle or whatever that's out there.
This is a light and airy piece.
Well, it's actually there's a lot of like kind of hard driving rhythms to it, almost like the bird is really swooping diving down and flying all over the place, and so it's a lot of fun to play, and gives the kids a nice challenge that they get to open up that second half with. After that, we're doing a piece that I really love. Sometimes in band we tend to get a little quirky with our music occasionally. And this second piece is no exception from that. It's called Rhythm Stand, and it's recognizing the importance of rhythm in our lives, not just in music, but in the rhythm of everyday life. The rhythm your tires make driving down the road, the rhythms you hear from nature, from industrial things. So the composer has put in a lot of pencil tapping on the stands for the musicians to do. Yeah, so there's very specific instructions. It's kind of funny. You have to actually tap on the flat part on the top, or you're tapping on the support rod that holds the stand up. There's even snapping that goes on.
Now, they all make different sounds, right?
Yeah, they do, and that's the cool part of it. We actually had to kind of play around with the sounds and figure out exactly where everybody needed to tap their pencils to get the most resonant sound out of their music stand. They're like, this is kind of ridiculous.
Please.
Exactly.
So I'm curious, if you take a stand and raise or lower it, do you get different sounds?
Well, depending on where you hit the support rod.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, we determined that the best place to hit it, instead of the actual support rod itself, was the tube that the support rod goes down into. That gives you the most...
Gives you some resonance.
Yeah, the most resonant kind of boingy sound when you hit it with a pencil. So I was like, okay. I said we gotta figure out where to hit our stands so that we get the best sound out of them.
Geez.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, my. Yeah. So after that,
composer with a sense of humor.
Yeah, definitely. After that, we're featuring the music of Florence Price, and that may not be a name that a lot of people are familiar with, but it is becoming a name that is more important. She is widely considered the first African-American female to have a piece of music played by a major symphony orchestra in the United States. And that piece that was played was her Symphony No. 1. And it was premiered by the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. And
is she from there?
No, she moved up to Chicago. She had lived in the South, and it was during the 1920s. So they moved up to Chicago. Their family was just trying to find some place that was better for them to live.
So she had a connection to it, though.
Yeah. And so the work was premiered by the Chicago Symphony Orchestra and has kind of now made a resurgence in the last 15 years. I'd say I've heard the Philadelphia Orchestra play it. I heard the Midland Symphony Orchestra play it. There's been other groups. The Midland Community Orchestra just played it also. So we're playing one movement, and that's the third movement. It's probably the most popular movement of the symphony. It's called the Juba Dance, which was a type of dance that the slaves would do.
We should point out, when bands play symphonic music, bands aren't set up to do 20, 30-minute pieces.
Not usually. Not a community band like this. We don't typically do that. Right, so that's why we kind of pick and choose.
Snippets of that.
Exactly. So, it's nice to see her finally getting that recognition with her music and having people play her music, and it's no exception that, we can have a nice arrangement of it like that. That everybody gets to play, and I think it's good for the students too that are playing with us to be exposed to that piece as well. After that, we're going to turn to movie music, a movie that came out several years ago and then just had a live action. I love how they call it live action remakes. It's How to Train Your Dragon. I don't think they actually had any dragons in the movie. I'm not totally sure. Maybe they did. But we're going to play music from How to Train Your Dragon, which I think it's actually pretty much right in the right time frame for our scholarship winners. It's a movie from when they were young.
So I know they play the whole half with you.
Yeah, they're playing the whole second half with us, which I think is great. It gives them a chance to do a little bit more than they might normally do in their school band. A little more music to work on. Gives them an idea of what it's like to play for a little bit longer than a typical middle school concert or even a high school concert sometimes. But the music is really great, and I think a lot of our younger audience that comes, especially the children of members of the band, that we always want them to be there and we want them to experience it. They're going to be able to recognize this music, and I think they'll really like it. And then to close out the program, because you haven't heard his name yet, I'm sure you know what's coming. John Philip Sousa.
I was going to say, it's got to be Sousa.
It's got to be Sousa. Yeah, we're going to play the Liberty Bell March, and that
do something for the 250th.
Well, and the Liberty Bell March is kind of whetting the appetite of our audience for what's going to come in our summer concert, because our summer concert is going to be a salute to the 250th anniversary of.
Which I am willing to bet every concert band in the country will be doing a salute to the 250th.
I'm sure they probably will be.
That'll be June 10th, right?
June 9th, actually. The date changed. It's on the Tuesday now, the 9th.
Okay, yeah, good.
Yep.
And that's at Winona Band Shell?
No, that's actually going to be at the high school.
Be at the high school again.
Yep,
So,
it's going to be at the high school
so
again.
forget what you find online, folks.
Yeah, sorry. We haven't been able to update our website yet. We have to do that. Apologies.
All right. Take a break and be back after these notes.
Got a home repair problem? Don't get mad.
All right, we're back with you in studio. Nathan Snyder from the Bay Concert Band, where he is the music director and conductor. And just to wrap up this upcoming concert on the 5th at the high school.
Yes.
Bay Central High School.
Yes,
How
at
much
Bay
to
City
get in?
Central. Tickets are $10. Students who are in 6th grade or younger are admitted for free. We want people to bring their kids. We are kid-friendly. We like to have them there, even if they make a little bit of noise. That's okay. We'll just play over top of them. Totally fine. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's great. We want the kids there. We want families to come. We love the support that Bay City gives us. Like I said before, that 49 years of having the city support the band has been really, really spectacular, and we truly appreciate that.
Okay, so let's just spend a few minutes here wrapping up the 49th season with the concert in June.
Yes. So June 9th, we're having our Salute to America, 250 years of independence.
How many Sousa marches can you play in one?
I think on that one we're going to play 2 Sousa marches.
Figured at least, yeah.
Yeah, but there's some other stuff that you can play too that's not a Sousa march.
Yeah.
So, so some nice music on that one, kind of, sort of a little musical history of our country.
I
And
was going to say, will it be a chronological walk through music?
I don't think it's going to be chronological, but we're definitely hitting a lot of different themes. We've got a fugue on Yankee Doodle. So we got Yankee Doodle from the Revolution.
Yep.
We've got music from the time period of World War I. We've got some jazz that comes from the time period between World War I and World War II. And we've got some good marches, like I said, some Sousa and some other marches. So it's going to be a chance to, hear some music from our great history and to celebrate our independence and celebrate our freedom, together as a community.
And despite what it says on the website,
Yeah, it's going to be Tuesday, June 9th at
the
7
high school.
o'clock at the high school. Yeah, and that concert is going to be free. We're going to offer that
Totally
one.
free to the public?
Totally free to the
Oh,
public,
ooh.
kind of as our way of saying thank you for your support over the years and being with us. Since we're not going to play at Winona Park this year, which that concert would typically be no charge to come and just sit on the grass. We thought we would continue that spirit and keep the concert free of charge.
So that concludes the 49th season.
It does.
Now you got to look ahead to a big season.
That's right.
50th anniversary is a big, big deal. So when do you start planning that?
We've already started planning it. You got to start pretty far ahead of time. I actually started talking about it at the beginning of this season, back in September, when I met with the board. We had our first meeting, and I said we got to start thinking about next year because I think it'd be nice to do something special in honor of that 50th season. So some things we have going on right now. We are commissioning a brand new piece of music that is going to be written specifically for the Bay Concert Band's celebration of 50 seasons. And that will be premiered at our last formal, I guess you could say, concert of the season, the May concert that we have next year in 2027. And we have commissioned composer Gerard Hall from Texas to write that piece. We've played several of his pieces and we really like them. So we said, let's have Gerard write a piece for us. So that's going to be really great. We're going to have a banquet where we celebrate our 50 years together, get the band together, get any past members who maybe aren't able to play with us anymore to come. Hopefully have, some people from the city attend that and show the importance of our connection to Bay City and what we have meant to the community for those 50 years, which I think is really great. And then one thing I'm doing on the programming side is going through the music that the band has played for the last 50 years and finding something sort of from each era of the band, and a piece of music that was played that maybe people got played a few times or there was a special meaning to it, and putting those throughout the season, as kind of like little remembrances of the past. This is what the Bay Concert Band has come from.
5 decades to play with.
Exactly. So there's a lot of music there that we can pull from, to make that special connection to the past, and then of course, with commissioning a new piece, just looking to the future and the next 50 years of the Bay Concert Band.
So when you go looking for music that they may have played 30 years ago, do you have a library? Do you have the book of that music so you don't have to go out and buy it again?
Yes, we do. So the music that we play, we have purchased.
So you don't lease music then? You buy it.
There are some pieces in the concert band world that get leased, but
Only because
typically
that's the only way they'll give
that's
you
the only way you can get them. But typically everything we play, we purchase. We like to stay copyright legal. And also,
That's a good idea.
It is. And because we play a lot of living composers,
Right.
we're supporting them. That's how they put food on their table and feed their families. So, it's only right that we do it that way, that we go through the proper channels to purchase the music, and we're following those laws and everything. So we have Somewhere in the vicinity of 1,000 titles in our
Oh,
library.
wow, you got a pretty good library.
Yeah, we have quite a large library.
And people have to understand, it's not a library of just a single piece of sheet music.
Right.
You got to have parts for all of the various sections of the band.
That's right. Yeah, the library has probably 10 or 12 filing cabinets, of different shapes and sizes. So every time we program a concert, our librarian goes and pulls that music, and thankfully it's numbered, so you can just find the number, and then you can sift through the numbers. They're listed, in numerical order, and you can just pull those out and then get everybody's music ready.
All right, we'll take a quick break, come back, finish up as we talk to Nathan Snyder. Don't forget, next Tuesday, the 5th, is next to the last concert of their 49th season. We take a moment to talk about potholes. I know it's depressing, but they're real, and if you hit enough of them, you can impact the way your car's alignment is, and that can be a safety concern. And our friends at Quick Lane Freeland are offering you a complimentary alignment check. You hit enough of those potholes, railroad tracks, and what have you, you might want to have it looked at, and they will take a look and tell you whether your alignment is good. And if you wonder how important alignment is, I've asked John from Quick Lane Freeland to give us a little dissertation on alignment.
If your vehicle's wheels are aligned correctly, it will not pull to the left or to the right when driving. It also prevents improper tread wear, so your tires last longer. A wheel alignment should be checked often because normal steering wear and tear can cause your alignment to go out in addition to potholes and railroad crossings. A correct alignment also reduces rolling resistance on your tires for better fuel mileage.
And, of course, better safety. Stop in today, get that complimentary alignment check. And by the way, if you need tires, don't forget Quick Lane sells all of their new tires at just $5 over cost. Quick Lane Freeland, part of the McDonald Ford complex. Stop in today and take a look. McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland stand ready to help you with all your automotive needs this year.
Gotta go.
And we're back with you, talking to Nathan Snyder from the Bay Concert Band. Let's talk Nathan Snyder. Nathan, he's been a teacher. He's got a degree in music. He's going for his master's, and then you're going for the big doc, aren't you?
That's right. That's the plan. Is after finishing my master's degree, I will be pursuing a doctoral degree in conducting.
And this is not directly college to master's to doctor. You've worked in between. You had time off between studies, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah. When you are in the process of becoming a college band director, which is ultimately what I would like to do, they want you to have that teaching experience because ultimately I'm going to be teaching college students how to become teachers. So, I had a couple of professors in my undergrad that never taught public school, and it definitely showed. Sometimes they would say things you're like, that's interesting. I'm not sure that would work in a public school. As they say, you need to have signed a hall pass and wiped a nose to know what you're doing before you teach other people to do it.
And you're going to Central.
Yes, I am at Central Michigan right now studying in their master's program in conducting.
And do you go right from that to the doctorate?
Yes, that is the plan. I will be looking at schools when I'm wrapping up the master's to move right on to a doctoral degree.
So, to get to that point, how many years will it take from now? 34?
Yeah, so the master's degree is 2 years total. So I have 3 semesters left. And then after that, a doctoral degree is a minimum of 3 years.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. If you are extremely talented, you can usually finish in 3 years. But it requires a lot of work to get it done in 3. Most take 4 years.
No kidding.
Yeah. So, but that's okay.
So now, just out of curiosity, you get the master's degree. Is that enough to get you in the door to teach while you're doing the doctorate program, or do you need to be concentrating strictly on the doctorate?
So typically part of a doctoral program is being a TA, a teacher's assistant. So I would probably be teaching some courses at the university, you know, some of the like first or second year courses as that's part of my package, you know, for the pay that I would get to pursue the doctoral degree. So you do some teaching of the lower level. You know, it could be history courses, could be some theory courses, things like that.
Did you always want to be a musician? Is that all you've ever wanted to do?
Yes. It is literally the only thing that I have ever wanted to be professionally as a musician. It was never a question in my mind. From the time I picked up the clarinet the first time in 5th grade, I said, this is what I want to do. And even in 5th grade, when I didn't understand what that actually meant, I knew that's what I wanted to be.
I picked up my clarinet for the first time. I had an uncle who was a band leader. He said, no, you don't want to do that. Okay, Uncle Dick, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Because that actually, it's funny because when I was very young and in the New York City schools, you pick up an instrument in 4th and 5th grade. You're picking up instruments and ended up with the clarinet, not the one I wanted, but that's what I ended up with because I couldn't do drums in a New York apartment. So, but I thought, you know, gee, I would make a career out of this. I like this. You know, my uncle was, he bent my ear up one side and down the other. And he made his living with it. I mean, he had a big band. He had everything. And
Yep.
No. Convinced my parents, and they convinced me, so that was the end of that. But that's the way life goes.
Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes
All
it
right,
is.
so let's leave everybody again with information on the the May 5th concert.
Yes, Tuesday, May 5th, 7:30 p.m. at Bay City Central High School. Tickets are $10 at the door. You can pay with cash or credit card, and students in 6th grade and younger are free of charge.
And it's at the Bay City Central High School.
That is right, in the auditorium.
In the auditorium. All right, Nathan, listen, great talking to you.
It was great talking to you.
Good luck with the concert. And we'll probably chat again before the last one of the season.
Okay, that sounds good.
Nathan Snyder from the Bay Concert Band. We'll take our last break and tell you what's ahead.
Hi, I'm Ray from Begigners.
That wraps up the first hour of the Art Lewis Show on this Friday morning. Coming up, we're going to give you a chance to ask questions about home decorating, paints, wallpaper, stains, indoor, outdoor, all that stuff with Mike Stoddard from Westside Decorating Center. He'll be along following the news coming along from CBS, Local Report with Michael Perchip. I'm Art Lewis. We'll be back right after the news.
Broadcasting from the